650 million. 650 million tonnes of municipal waste is generated each year by households, small businesses and commerce. Let's have a conversation. 27 million. 27 million men, women and children are enslaved in the world today, denied basic human rights. Let's have a conversation. 4 companies, all very different, but all facing the same challenge, balancing corporate social responsibility with the bottom line. Let's have a conversation. 1 goal, promoting human rights compliance through environmental sustainability through shared knowledge, education and transparency. We are having this conversation. We are all for one. Good evening, my name is Hayley. I'll be joined by Matt, Sarah and Kirsty. And we are from All for One, or the AFO. So who is the AFO? The AFO is a non-for-profit global compliance mentoring program. We focus on assisting organisations with corporate social responsibility and compliance. Our initial focus is on human rights, environmental sustainability. So why are we doing this? We're doing this because we understand. We have 4 very different businesses, but each one of us in our history have looked at our business practices and said, this isn't right. We need to change. We know that change isn't easy. Change takes time, commitment, extensive research, and money. We understand for some businesses who may want to be a good global citizen that this is very daunting and a big deterrent. But we have the solution. Our mission statement: to promote corporate social responsibility through engagement, mentoring, and shared knowledge. So what does this mean? How does it work? Well, I'll hand you over to my colleagues who will explain a little bit more. Sarah?
Thank you, Hayley. What are human rights? When presented with this question, every individual has a different answer. Though by definition, human rights are the rights inherent to all human beings, including the right to live freely, speak your mind, and be treated as an equal. No matter your race, age, gender, or religion, everyone is entitled to human rights. Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "When will our consciences grow so tender that will act to prevent human misery rather than avenge it?" The Universal Declaration of Human Rights was created to help bridge differences in human rights values across the world and to create a form of guidance in ensuring these rights are followed. However, these statistics tell another story. A story where 27 million people are currently enslaved in a world that is supposedly free of slavery. A story where 61 million children are denied education, while education is a human right. A story where discrimination is common in the workforce, despite the ever-increasing efforts towards equality. A story we need to change. With the global growth of globalization, the impact of human rights policies upon businesses and stakeholders becomes vital. These impacts can be both positive and negative, and sometimes may even seem out of the organisation's control. This is where our compliance program will assist. Our human rights program assists and trains businesses in achieving and upholding compliance in human rights within both the organisation and the supply chain, thus creating an environment where all local members are meeting the UNGC standards. Imagine members of your supply chain were found to be involved in human trafficking or use child labour to create their goods. Many organisations struggle to identify non-complicit business partners and thus discovering the abuse only once it has already been carried out. Our human rights program will work with businesses to reduce complicity in human rights abuse, ensuring local community and societal stakeholders are accounted for. Imagine workplace discrimination was prevalent within your organisation, or business hiring methods favoured one gender over another. Many companies know how to deal with these common discrimination issues, such as inappropriate sexist comments or racist remarks within the workplace. But what happens when your superior advises you to terminate an employee because of their sexual preferences and that it makes him feel uncomfortable? Faced with this situation, what would you do? If any of these scenarios are found to be true, your organisation will be in violation of the human rights. We need to act now to ensure compliance is met. Every day we delay is a day that 27 million people remain in slavery. Through using a mentor-mentee structure, the program will utilise knowledge from organisations that are already succeeding in human compliance. Mentors will assist mentees to develop an effective code of conduct, while also expanding and developing effective audit practices for the business. In identifying and engaging in ethical recruitment services and using socially responsible resource tracing, organisations will alleviate human rights abuses within their supply chain and thus their business. We have discussed the implications of human rights in the business upon your stakeholders. This includes your employees, suppliers, local community, and society as a whole. Shareholder stakeholders will be motivated to become involved by highlighting the business contributions to these efforts with an annually published report, thus increasing good standing with all stakeholders. As Alexander Downer once said, it is only through the pursuit of practical and effective efforts to promote human rights that we will show our real commitment to the welfare of individuals and society. Human rights is a responsibility we all share to respect each other, help each other, and protect those in need. It is our duty as organisations to uphold this social contract to the best of our ability. But our conversation doesn't end here. My associate Kirsty has more for you to consider.
Thank you, Sarah. We all know the environment is important, right? But in saying that, right now, at this very moment, what are the initiatives that your company are undertaking to promote greater environmental responsibility? What are you doing to encourage these initiatives to be undertaken? I want you to have a look at these questions. Is your answer to any of these questions yes? If so, the AFO has the answer. The environment and the economy are really both two sides of the same coin. If we cannot sustain the environment, we cannot sustain ourselves. Over the past few years, companies have had an immense amount of pressure placed on them by society to really start to look at the effect that they're having on the environment. Society and stakeholders care about our actions because the non-compliance of undertaking initiatives to promote greater environmental responsibility is directly affecting them. The slow destruction of this planet is directly affecting them. Our lack of motivation to move in a sustainable direction when it comes to doing business is directly affecting them. We all breathe the same air, we swim in the same oceans, and we live in the same climate. As industry leaders, as business leaders, as leaders in society, it is time that we come together. Let's act now. Let's have this conversation, no matter how hard it is. Thus, our recommendation is a compliance program encouraging green offices and corporate sustainability. Let me take you through the steps of how you can move towards having a green office. What is a green office? A green office is an office that meets a certain standard of sustainability. In our opinion, a green office can include one or all of the following to any extent. Furniture and fittings throughout the building are made from certified raw materials or recycled materials. The office is paperless to any degree. Office equipment that uses low amounts of energy are being used to operate are being used. Renewable energies are being used to run the building and the operations inside. Staff are encouraged to use energy mindfully, and contribution to landfill is being reduced through recycling. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Well, it should. Green offices have been implemented in individual companies across the globe. However, the AFO will be the first to take a unified approach with incentives for remaining compliant. So, how does it work? Once you sign up to our mentoring program, your company will be working towards earning a Green Star rating for your office. You'll be given an initial Green Star rating, which will become your benchmark, and from there you'll be working towards earning a higher Green Star rating, with the final goal of earning a Green Star rating of 5 out of 5. Each year, the company's office will be assessed by a representative from the AFO on an individual basis, and it will be determined what your Green Star rating is. To be a part of the program is a prerequisite that your office has a Green Star rating of 2 out of 5. At the AFO, we understand that implementing change in the workplace is a slow and hard process. How? Because we have been there. Together with combined knowledge, our mentors will be able to guide you and support you throughout your journey to a more sustainable way of practicing business. This is what we are going to do for you. We'll provide you with mentors and ensure a clear line of communication is established between you. Your mentors will endeavour to give you feedback and to encourage you in the right direction. It is their job to pass on knowledge and advice to ensure that your organisation is equipped with the right tools to implement change in your workplace. We will provide you with educational programs where you will be given the chance to learn and engage with us on a regular basis. We will compile a list of furniture manufacturers in your area that meet our standards for eco-friendly and sustainable furniture and materials. Lastly, we will provide cost consultants who will liaise with your finance officers to go over the costs involved implementing change in your workplace. Stakeholders globally will benefit immensely as a result of companies taking part in our mentoring program. With businesses using renewable energies and raw materials, this will mean stakeholders will be subject to less pollution. Climate change and global warming will become less of an issue, and with the push for paperless offices and an increase in recycling, this will minimise the amount of waste being dumped into landfill. Lastly, as a shareholder, we would hope that businesses who are operating in a more sustainable behaviour will be recognised as the way of the future, and therefore we will project an increase in investment in these companies. As a result, higher profits would be expected and subsequently higher dividends for their shareholders. I would like to leave you with a question to think about. Are we doing enough? Are we doing enough to operate in an eco-friendly way that still allows us to make a profit? Are you doing enough? Let's stand together and be forthcoming with the desire to implement change in our companies. I can imagine at this point you might have some concerns or queries regarding the program, so I'll now pass you over to Matt, who will talk you through some of the challenges that we may face along the way and the ways that we plan on overcoming them. Thank you.
Thanks, Kirsty. And Lat once said, every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for the kind of world that you want. I want you to think about this for a moment. Really think about it. We understand, as 4 Companies United standing before you today, that what we are asking is not going to come easy. We stand before you transparent and honest in saying that we understand there's going to be challenges to overcome to make these two recommendations work. But understand this, we have walked in these shoes and we have overcome these challenges. But the positive implications that this will have on your organisation's bottom line, your stakeholders, and the future sustainability of business clearly outweighs the hard work it's going to take to get there. The business of business is business. Why do we keep going on about it? Because we understand it, we live it, and we can appreciate that the original idea of getting into business was to make a profit, to produce an income. But we also understand that you're all sitting here because you realise that running a socially responsible company means so much more than just having the right marketing mix or hiring the cheapest labour. You are all sitting here because you want to be, because you believe in change that positively affects your stakeholders, and you believe in the triple bottom line. With that in mind, I want to explain to you how we overcome the challenges of setting up such an organisation and how we, as a united organisation, are going to help you pave the way to a brighter future, a better future, a future that we can all be proud of. One of the major challenges that we had to setting up such an organisation was how was it going to be structured? Who gets to choose who has the power to conduct an audit, or mentor a company, or assign your organisation green stars? This was a challenge that we faced, and we believe that we have come to a viable and fair solution that promotes sustainability in our organisation that you can trust. We want to share it with you. Everything will sit under the AFO umbrella. The board will be made up by independent parties representing different industries and geographical locations, along with members from the UNGC. Board nominations will happen biannually, with every member of the organisation having a chance to vote on board applications. The board is in charge of overseeing all mentor programs. They have the power to promote your organisation and membership, and they have the power to dismiss your company. The board can be challenged if 5% of AFO members have a vote of no confidence. We want you to understand that these two initiatives are our starting point, but it's definitely not our end. We want to continue to create initiatives to be more compliant with the principles of the UNGC. So how does the mentor structure work then? We want you to understand that to be a part of this program, you have to be involved in both initiatives, but not necessarily in the same capacity. If your company leads the way in creating initiatives to promote greater environmental responsibility, we may want you to jump on board as a mentor in our Green Office program. A mentor is an organisation that have shown enough compliance in one of our two initiatives and can pass their knowledge on to another organisation. They're also selected by the board. The flip side of the coin, though, is if you need help, we'll be there. If you need help sourcing suppliers who are not complicit in human rights abuse, then you can also be a mentee in our mentoring program. This is about working together for a common cause of becoming more compliant with Principles 2 and Principle 8 of the UNGC. So this is how our membership structure works then. We work on a 3-tier basis. So our bottom tier is our affiliate members, who is awarded 2 stars. Our second tier is corporate members, and they'll have a 3 to 4 star rating. And then finally our gold members. To be a gold member, you have to have 5 stars of compliance. So what does that mean? An affiliate member will have access to our full mentoring service. They'll get mentors from corporate and gold members, and they'll also have access to workshops, conferences, and resources, as our vision would be to move you to a 3 to 4 star rating within the first 2 years, which is our corporate members. As a corporate member, you'll receive advanced mentoring from gold members, and you'll also begin to mentor other companies in other areas, such as affiliate members. Our gold members are our top members, and as a gold member, you actually have the opportunity to apply for membership for our board, because you've shown enough compliance that you can pass on to another organisation. You'll also mentor both corporate and affiliate members. So I guess you're all wondering, where will the money come from then? We will be a self-funded organisation, with fees being paid by mentors and nominal fees being paid by mentees. The higher level of member you are, the higher the fee you pay. But that also means that you're being more compliant in both of our initiatives. And why is that important? Because we plan on telling your stakeholders about it. Let's be honest, we all want to become a social responsible company, but we all want our stakeholders to know about it, especially our investors and consumers. So our biggest challenge was, why join? What's in it for your company? This is what's in it for your company. The annual AFO compliance report. The annual AFO compliance report is a publicly viewed report that details all of your successes, all of your progress, and all of your accomplishments. A report that will communicate to your stakeholders just how socially responsible you are becoming, that you have become through these initiatives, and why their loyalty should fall with your company. At the end of every financial year, we will publish a report which will be made publicly available. In this report, those who have endeavoured to implement large amounts of change will be recognised accordingly. It is important for stakeholders and society to acknowledge and be made aware of companies who are undertaking initiatives to promote greater social responsibility. We're providing you the power to make a change. We're giving you the voice that your stakeholders are going to listen to because we're presenting them with information they want to know, that they need to know, and that you want to tell them. We are not only going to report on everything that you've done well, but we're also going to outline areas of improvement and companies that fall short, even though after all the mentoring that we've given them. Why are we going to do this? Because we promised you real consequences. And that's why you're going to want to stay in this program. You'll stay in this program for the real results that this is going to deliver your company, your stakeholders, and your bottom line. Let's make a start together to overcome these challenges. Let's make a start on shaping future that will teach generations to come how to run a socially responsible company. Let's make a start on true compliance. Now I'm going to pass you back to Hayley, who's going to tell you why we're here tonight.
Thank you, Matt. So, we've told you who we are. We are the AFO, organisation focusing on mentoring and mentees. We've told you the challenges. We've been honest with you. We've told you the things that we are going to struggle against starting this organisation. But we've also told you the solutions. And most importantly, we've told you the benefits, why you should join us, why it will benefit you and your stakeholders. So let me take an opportunity to ask you a question. Oh, let me remind you of our mission statement first, of course. We are here to promote corporate social responsibility through engagement, mentoring, and shared knowledge. That is what the AFO is about. Now I'll ask you a question. Can you put your hand on your heart and say that your organisation is a good global corporate citizen? If you can, well done. Join us. Take the next step. Help other organisations who want to be where you are today to achieve their goals. Teach them. Learn with them. Join us. If your hand's not yet on your heart, let us help you. Let us help you become that company you want to be. Use our knowledge. Use our experience. Help us help you put your hand on your heart. In my hand, I have a statement of commitment. Right now, there is only 4 signatories on this document. 1 from each of the companies that are speaking to you tonight. This is simply not enough. We need your help. We need your name on this piece of paper. We need you to make a commitment to real and lasting change. We need you to be united for a brighter future. We need you to join the conversation. Thank you.